the organization is growing. It might have experienced a setback in the last elections, not even more than 1%, and which will recover in the 2026 elections. It is politics. They are like that. They are like business. They are up and downs. If you don't have a conviction and you don't believe in what you are pushing, the message that you give people, it should be a message that you yourself believe in. I mean, we just took a decision now that the Secretary General of the EFF must resign from Parliament and be full-time so that we don't push governance at the expense of our organization. There must be someone full-time paying attention to detail as to how far are the branches and the sub-regions, how far are we ready for the 2026 election. So those are the things that we are doing to make sure that we build this organization.
Okay, I want to go back into all of that and unpack that a little bit. So with regards to the sub-regions, I think that deadline in itself has been pushed back in terms of when they need to be done, if I'm correct?
Yeah. Including branches, the branches, they've been pushed back.
Is that because of the lacklusterness? What does that owe to?
No, people like working under pressure. If you don't put pressure, they don't. I mean, I can reduce 200 to 50 members.
Yeah.
And then say finish it in August. They will still not finish it.
Okay.
And then once they start seeing consequence management, only then
will they do what
acting.
what they need to do. The other thing attached to your comments about the growth of the EFF will have to be the by-election results, which I found really curious. We can speak about KZN. And the reason why I found them curious is that these 200 branches that are being launched, 200 member branches, would then suggest that in those areas, you should perform well. But in some of those areas, you don't perform well. And the question mark then is like, what kind of branches are actually being launched? If, when you go back, there's barely anybody who then votes in favor of the EFF, it suggests that something's gone wrong in this growth trajectory or in rebuilding, doesn't it?
No, we don't have a candidate on the basis of a branch being in good standing. We have a candidate on the basis of having received 10% in the previous elections.
I remember that from your conference last year.
That is the formula we are using to determine whether we can have a candidate there or not. You may find the membership is less and things like that. But what we use is the election result. It's not the organizational strength, which is what I spoke about at the rally, that those who don't launch their branches this year will not qualify to contest for local government next year. Because launching a branch next year, it means it's a bogus branch. You are launching it for purpose of local government elections. Tshidi, there are so many political parties in South Africa. And the EFF can't perform well in all the wards. We put up a fight and the voters decide what they want to do. But for me, more than anything, it's a training ground. I'm more interested in, do I have people in that corner who have an experience of fighting an election? Because so these are training grounds. And then the next election, 2026, you don't start people afresh. They already have an idea of what needs to be done. We do well. We're doing well in many areas. I mean, we did well in my ward where a state resource was deployed. All kinds of yellow machines were sent there to...
But you also put in a lot of resources in your ward.
Which one?
In your own ward. There was a lot of work. You on the ground.
Which resource? You said resource.
Resources. You were also there on the ground.
No, but that's not resource. That's us working.
Yes,
we didn't bring
effort.
We didn't bring state machinery.
I can accept your argument of state machinery.
Yes, to boost our election campaign. But what we did in Ward 13 is what we do everywhere else. Everywhere else where we have an election, we put up a fight. Once we take a decision, we're participating. We put up a fight. Of course, it's a ward where I come from. It will have a different attraction and the kind of people who want to come and sway votes this way and that way. I only went twice. I went when I went to speak at the Talatupa rally of the branch, and then I went for the second time. I actually went third time. I went second time when I went to vote, and I went back in the early hours of the morning to go and receive the victory.
There wasn't extra effort from where you stand
I've
in winning that ward. Like, because for me, what I'm trying to figure out around that, because I watched that, and I'll bring in Sebokeng into the conversation as well. When I watched that, and I thought to myself, it feels like much more effort is required to retain, to be in that particular ward. And the question then for me is, what sort of an EFF needs to prepare then for local government elections when it is that much of a fight to retain a ward? I don't know if I'm making any sense.
Yeah. You see, there's the 2026, there isn't much effort compared to what we...
It now takes you 90 seconds to apply for vehicle finance here at Willie. Come, let me show you.
Have dealt with in what they did. Because in 2026, all the wards are going to elections.
Yes.
So you can't have everybody concentrated on one ward. So in that way, you fight your battle from proper organizational initiatives. But with these by-elections, it's not only the ANC, the IFP, every party in power. When there's a by-elections, they bring all types of state resource to try and fight. To
win. It's not only the EFF. I think
it's not only ANC. Not EFF. We don't take anything. We take our bodies. We take some few T-shirts and then the gazebos, and then
those are resources.
But the resources compared to state machinery, you can't say that.
But I accept that argument.
You can't say, okay,
I accept that argument.
You want us to have an election and then it must be a normal day.
No, I said I accept that argument.
No, you can't say when people are doing normal thing, then you say they brought a lot of resources. No, it's normal.
Okay, I accept that.
But once you bring graders, now I was born in Sesheu. For the first time, I found those lanes on the tar roads in Sesheu. They were doing stop signs and putting the lanes.
Because of trying to win votes, yeah.
We were seeing things here. And
electricity, year with elections,
there was electricity cut. They were actually getting used to it. That month, there was nothing. There were people got electricity. They made sure that they get electricity. But, people that you trained, you know how they think. Because most of the people who misled, those people that they can take the word from the EFF, is people who come from the EFF. So, their thinking. They went to attack and put more resources in Juju Valley. And they concentrated there because EFF was winning with 85% in that VT. They said, no, everybody must go there. Let's fight there. And we knew they are there. We went into their traditional base. And we finished them in such a way that even if they were to win Juju Valley, they were not going to match us with the kind of support we brought from the traditional base of the ANC. I mean, there is a place there called 133. EFF used to get 10, 11. This time the ANC got 900 and something, we got 400 and something. 133 is a new place of RDP houses, which they established countering Juju Valley. But even the people that they gave houses, they are saying, look, this is not what we want. We want more than that, and we think the EFF will deliver.
Then how do you make sense of votes, elections like Sebokeng? That's a constituency in my head that you speak to. That's the audience, that's the voters that you directly speak to. What would have happened in a situation like that?
I don't know, because I had focused too much in what they did. And then I only saw the results. Only then I knew that there was a ward where the EFF was contesting. And remember, after what they did, I went to East London for my court. After my court, I went to Cape Town for the rally. Only now I'm back. And then I'll get to understand as to what really transpired. Yeah.
Okay, and then the other thing that I find fascinating is the EFF and KZN. I understand the need to look and to reach out to everybody everywhere for support. But no matter